Going. There's no way to take this from there over to Facebook, is there?
Nope. Not unless we went from me. So
I should have set you up. We were going to do that this week.
Yeah.
And we didn't do it. So we're live. Yay. It's going. I think there's no way to take this from there over to Facebook, is
there? You're echoing. You've got to fix that.
I don't know how to fix it. Set you up. We were going to do that this week. Yeah. How do I do that?
You're like double. It's like you're double.
I think there's no way to take this from there over to Facebook, is there?
You must have YouTube open.
You're echoing. You've got to fix I don't have you. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, you have YouTube open. Okay, so everybody out there listening to this, that's what not to do. Make sure you close Facebook and close YouTube before you go live on them because it echoes.
There you go. And I should know that, but I'm the tech. I don't know why we let me do tech.
I don't either. Yeah, I'm not sure. But hey, we're 4 minutes early today and we're actually on. So, but now you have to go into Facebook and share so that they know how to find us on live on YouTube because they won't be able to see it.
I have no idea how to do that. You did it last time. You go do it.
Okay, where's my phone? Let me find it.
So welcome to the Marketing Monday Mixer. I'm Juliette Clark, and this is my lovely co-host, Tracy Lee Hazard. And we're going to talk today about serving versus selling.
Love the idea of doing that because it is the thing that I say again and again and again that, people come and like whether they want to do a summit, they want to do a podcast, they want to do a video show, they want to write blogs, whatever it is, they are always coming and they're always saying, I want this. I was like, well, what are you going to give for that? Mm-hmm. What are you going to do for the listeners, the audience, the readers? If you don't start there, you're not starting from the right place.
Exactly.
So yeah, that's again and again, I hear, this is the backwards thinking. If I start with my why, if you start with your why, okay, that's great. Good. Go for it. But if you start with your why, you tend to forget about the process along the way and the really important part of making sure that you are serving, that somebody wants to hear what you have to say. Mm-hmm. So what about you? You probably tell your authors this all the time.
So I think my big message to my authors is a click is not a relationship. And you actually have to.
I like that.
To people. So we've gotten in this thing where we think it's a relationship. And imagine that you were on a date. Treat your people like you were out on a date. Would you sit there and text in front of them? Would you tell them that you love them and try to sell yourself within the first 30 minutes? I don't know about you guys, but if you did that to me on a date, I would be like under the table, ordering my Uber, excusing myself to go to the bathroom, getting out my MacGyver kit to disengage the emergency exit at the back of the restaurant, and I'd be out of there. It feels slimy.
It does. It really, really does. It feels slimy when that's all you're thinking about.
It does. I remember, I'm going to give a shout out. My friend Tina Greenbaum called me in tears one day, one of my clients, and she jumped on a call with a guy who offered a free call, and he didn't listen to any of her wants and needs. He just went right into a sale, and then he got mad when she said no. And it was like, she got off the phone. She was frustrated. She's like, oh my gosh, I wish I could have taped it. It was exactly how you don't do an enrollment call.
That's so funny. It's, I wish I had recordings for some of those too. Like it's happening more and more in social. Like I'm getting like videos sent to me and LinkedIn and like chat sent to me. And I'm like, what makes you think that I'm going to stay friends with you? You just friended me. And now all you're doing is selling me. Doesn't that drive you crazy?
Especially LinkedIn and the bots. A lot of people really misuse bots, but LinkedIn, it drives me crazy. Like I'm getting a pid. Let's set up time to chat. There's etiquette and there's getting to know each other. And that's not the way to do it. So where does that leave us with all these big funnels people are doing?
Well, and that's the thing is like, look, you can create a funnel, but if all along the way you haven't set in service along the way, then what's the point of it? So I actually do that first. I don't put the sales part of it. I mean, you know the basics of a funnel. At some point, there's something free. Then you're going to try to get them something low cost. Then you're going to move them up, and you're going to, or you're going to go the other way. I like to do reverse funnels. I like, because I only want the fast movers, right? So right. I like to just go for the highest ticket, right? So it's like, so I do often put in like commentary that says, if you can't wait, if you're just anxious to get this stuff done, then just book a call. Like, you're not doing anything but say it's a free call, so just book that. And so I frequently do that because I'd much rather have those people, rather than funnel them all the way through it, just go straight for it because we're busy. Mm-hmm. But all along the way, everything that I try to do in the funnel is always service, and it's service amping up as we go. So you've got to be cognizant of the fact that you can't be serving someone who doesn't understand. Like, I can't be serving people with all this information on being a podcaster when you haven't become one yet.
Right.
Right. Like that, people tend to like confuse the idea that service is like, I've got to give them so much information. No, we don't need to like fire hose them. We need to give them the steps that they need, the tools that they need, and we just give it to them. That's the difference, right? If I'm going to be out there and I'm going to say, you need a podcast host, what's a hosting company? Let me explain that to you. Because if you haven't thought this through, you're going to find out in your research here as you decide to become a podcaster that you need a hosting service. It's like a website hosting service. You got to have your website located somewhere on the internet. You have to have your podcast located somewhere on the internet. Why can't you do it on your home site? Because you'll inundate your site. If you're lucky enough to get enough listeners all at once and they all subscribe and they all download at the same moment, you will crash your website. Right. So that's the good news. So go somewhere else. And so we say, I, for full disclosure, I am one. Here's what we have, but here's all the other ones you should investigate. And here's our comp page. So you can go check them out and link directly to them, find them, and make it easy for them. So you're giving them the things that they're going to naturally find anyways, but instead of hiding all the other people, you're serving them with, this is what's going on in the industry. This is what's going on in the marketplace. You're going to hear these things. It doesn't have to be all about me. Your reason for choosing somebody, you may have another reason that is totally valid that you want to go somewhere else. Mm-hmm. I'm good with that, but make sure you're doing it from an informed place. And if I can provide that information, I'm still valuable later. Right. So I might be proven to be right too. Right? You didn't need it and you thought you did, right?
So here's the other thing about that though, as well, is that, I see so many people out there. I had a client bring this to me last summer where she brought me the old, here's my drip campaign. I gave away something free. I checked in, then I sold him something. Doesn't work. And that's exactly why she had brought it. She'd used it on a webinar and it didn't work. And then she had that cascading, I'm taking all the bonuses away. These are all like nobody's into that anymore either.
Yeah. I agree with that. I think things are changing because it's been so overdone.
It's been so overdone, but it's also, people are exhausted. There's so much stuff out there.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if you were part of the Facebook group that Catherine Bell's Extraordinary Women. People were asking, how do I mute the ads? I'm so sick of seeing all these ads in there that are targeted at me. And I hate these people. They were literally like, I've seen this person. I've heard about their reputation. I would never in a million years hire them. How do I get it out of my feed?
Well, and here's the thing. It's like those ones where you're pushing through your Facebook pages. So like, they're like, I just friend you and then I send you my Facebook page that has nothing to do with anything that I'm remotely interested in. That one drives me crazy.
Right? Is that you right there? Oh, I can't boost it. Darn it.
I know. I'm trying. I'm doing my best here.
I see it, but I was trying to do a watch party with it. So.
I know. I'm going to see if I can do one on my end. I don't know why, but sometimes it lets us do it and sometimes it doesn't. Right? This is like the funky things that are going on because you cannot go live on Facebook right now.
Yes. I'm so sorry, folks. I got kicked off Facebook temporarily.
Well, you got kicked off live streaming on Facebook.
I did. I'm on Facebook. I just got kicked off the live stream, which makes absolutely no sense. But you know what? There's a silver lining. We're now trying YouTube Live, which we hadn't done before. So now we have to figure out how to run them simultaneously at the same time.
Right. Exactly. It's
So
it's so confusing. So I've got it now running in the group. Okay.
okay.
So I've got it running in the group. Maybe you can post from the group. I don't know. We'll keep trying things.
I will try.
So everyone, this is always an experiment because we're trying out technology and left and right. And I have to tell you, it's really failing. Like the video marketing is really failing for me. I'm like, I'm at the point where I'm like, I'm not so sure it's worth it.
Really?
Yeah. I'm not so sure it's worth it to me.
Oh my gosh. I love it.
Not that I don't love to talk to all of you out there. It's great. And, it's fun and interesting. However, I think just doing the video and posting it is easier.
Well, it's easier, but it's not as connective. I don't know.
Well, now you can just create a watch party.
That's
so
true.
even if I post the video, I can still create the watch party and that's, whenever I feel like it.
So Tracy just told you that she doesn't like consistency. She doesn't like live.
Look, I get it. I know YouTube, Google, like they all care about consistency. I get that. Because I lecture about that all the time, but that doesn't mean it's right for you, right? At the end of the day, if the method by which you're going and serving, right? And my method of service is podcasting, is video casting, is coming out and bringing out information, right? This is my method of service. And if I can't do it consistently because it's too much of a hassle, it doesn't fit the way that the tight scheduling I have or whatever that might be, then you got to find another way. So I was interviewing a podcaster. She has a fake name because she podcasts on how to recover from alcoholism, right?
Okay.
So it's and she coaches high-end people who can't go to like Alcoholics Anonymous.
meetings.
Yeah. So she needs to have that privacy. So she's not a real person. She's a persona.
So in other words, this is like Dragnet. The names have been changed to protect
The names have been changed. Yeah. And it's really cool because on her website, all you ever see is the back of her head. And so you're not 100% sure she's actually really living in France either. Like that's also another thing. Like, I'm not sure. Is she really living there? But anyway, but she's got a very cool and interesting podcast. And the way that she does it though, is she's off. Her audience knows that, and she has email, like everything says it, that I have to take downtime from Friday through Sunday night. And if I don't, then I can't stay healthy and be here for you.
That's good.
And so that's kind of the premise she sets. She'll never post on a weekend. It's just never going to happen. But you can watch all her content on the weekend all you want, right? She's there for you. But she also set for herself that, some days you're just not feeling up for it. And when you're a recovering, Scott's telling us what not to do.
Calling us. Hold on.
Did we screw this up? Did we mess it up?
We're live. Go to YouTube.
What did we do wrong? Scott's got to
publishing. He's like, okay, I'll go to YouTube. I appreciate him supporting us. So
I know he's like, I can't find you. Where are you? Anyway, so what she did is that she said it doesn't fit my style. Like some days I wake up and I'm depressed and I want to drink and I need to meditate and work myself out and I can't go online at that moment and give people what they're asking for. I'm a sober coach, but I am also recovering. So I've got to take the time for myself when I need it. So she just randomly goes live on Facebook and she has a killer program. She has lots of followers. They stay in her group for long periods of time. They don't interact necessarily under their in their profiles or whatever in there because it's very private for all of them. So, that's okay. They watch it, but they watch it anonymously. Like they watch it and they see it, but they don't like anything. And she's okay with that because they reach out to her separately.
So
she's there for where they want her to be.
Yeah. Being someone who hasn't drank in almost 29 years. She can get away with that because the value in that is taking care of yourself, and she's modeling something super important for
exactly. And that's
yeah.
what's working for her, right? So, that thinking about all those things, it's like, if it doesn't work for you at the end of the day, and it means that you can't be in full service, then find another method.
So what are we going to do? What's our angle so we can get away with that? Are we going to be like video addicts, or
well, the reality is that I've never been a video person, right? Like, it's not my thing. Like, I chose to go become a podcaster because I didn't want to have my hair done and go on video. Right. And now I'm on video all the time.
But that's the cool part of it, though, because I know I have shown up in my Facebook group at like 6 a.m. Utah time. Half of them aren't even up. And I've said, hey, I'm on my way to the gym. I just wanted to say this. This is what I look like without makeup. Just close your eyes and listen.
Yeah, just close your eyes. Yeah, I pretend that I look, pretend that I'm ready. Right? So yeah, I know. I mean, it is one of those things where it's just like, if it fits you, then do it. And if it doesn't, then give it up and find another method, because the method by which you're in your best service is going to come through. Like, if this is frustrating you and it's not working, then it's not working for your listeners, for your viewers either. Mm-hmm. So at the end of the day, we've got to make sure that we're 100% there for them.
That's very true. So back to the service, now that we've gone off on this little like road trip.
Tech trip. Yeah.
Tech trick. So service, I gave a little talk about it this weekend. It sort of was incorporated.
You did. I was hoping you were going to bring that up. That was where my notes were.
At Scott Carson's event, which Scott is now on YouTube, I hope. Welcome, Scott. Thank you. We actually put a Facebook link on in our tech charade this week, and then we couldn't get on Facebook, so that's why you couldn't find us. So another tech fail. But service. So one of the things that's really missing out in the marketplace is the service sort of marketing, where we take a really good look at our clients and provide ways for them to get to know us and for us to do what I call digital listening.
Yep.
Because we really need to make it all about them. And if you look at what's happened in the past with the marketing over the last couple of years, there's a lot of it's about the guru. It's about my cred. It's about how good I am. It's about, look at my beautiful house. Look at my beautiful car. Look at my beautiful wife. You can have that too. And yes, I did just steal the lyrics from a Peter Gabriel song from the 80s. I am that old.
No, it's not a Peter Gabriel song.
What is it?
That's what I was typing in the chat. It's a Talking Head song.
Oh, okay. Why did I think it was Peter? See, I'm so old. I can't even get my 80s rock stars right.
The only reason I know that is because they went to RISD and Rhode Island School of Design, and so did I. And my father was very afraid that I would that this is the future. Like, no artists become become successful in any way, shape, or form unless they become famous musicians. Like, that would be it.
There you go. So we've done that. We've also done the look at me in the form of self-gratification. So look at me because I can get you 6 figures in 90 days, which for most of us, it sounds really shiny object, but here's the reality. You should be striving to have a sustainable business, not a flash in the pan thing that's going to go away tomorrow.
Yeah. Absolutely. I think that is so absolutely important for people to get across, that is the goal of us sharing content out here. It's sharing content that we are real. We are here. We are doing this day in, day out. We know what we're talking about. I mean, that's part of the service model, is giving proof that you are who you say you are, that you do what you say you do. That's part of what people need to buy from you. A great flashy message of sales message is not enough. And so the service has to be an integral part of that.
It does. But here's the thing. Here's the model. And I have a new book coming out soon that bangs on this hard. You guys will probably all hate me. But we have the coaching industry in particular has this bootstrap your way to bankruptcy model where go become an influencer, do this, and this. You're $200,000 in debt. And guess what? You don't have a business. Because the real way to do that is to build that business, build that reputation, and the influencer will follow because of that reputation. And that's what real service looks like. And Tracy's like going, you disagree?
Yeah, I know. No, I don't. I don't disagree on it. I mean, I think that it's very hard for someone to get over themselves and the money in the beginning. I mean, that's really it. I see it all the time. You're desperate for the clients.
Mm-hmm.
The number one mistake is you take all the wrong ones because you're just desperate for it, right? So
Right.
like, I mean, this is a pattern that happens. So I can see why the model that they're out there presenting is so seductive.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's where they're from. That's where they're living in. But they are manipulating that.
Right.
And they're tapping into that. And they're not giving you long-term basis of structure that are good business practices.
Right.
Those of us who have had businesses for a very long time have always had a business structure, have always had the way that business goes. And yes, business grows and it also declines, right? But when you can sustain through those periods of time, now you have a business, right? Now you understand where those things that you must constantly do happen. And those are always marketing. Like that's what we must continue to market, even when we're in a decline market, even when we're in decline in our business. But we don't necessarily, and we have to sell, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we don't necessarily have to do them exactly the way we did them when we were in a high market. So like that's the difference. And so they're giving you these flash in the pan, like exciting ideas. And because you're in a decline in your business or your market or wherever or you're at the start, right? Those things are so seductive and so exciting for you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where it starts kind of falling apart for most people, is that they are never going to work because your structure's not there to begin with. You didn't build that yet.
Right. And in that low market, you may have to pivot some. When I was in real estate, I got in 2001. I barely had to do anything, and we were selling 50, 60 houses a year. Fast forward to 2007, I had to pivot and go to work for the banks selling foreclosures, while the rest of my compadres were living in their cars because they had over leveraged everything in that market that they thought was going to last forever. So you really do have to have you have to be a better marketer in a down market than you do in a thriving market.
That's right. And see, for me, I've been lucky to have always been working in a down market in a sense. I mean, I know that sounds crazy, but I mean, I designed furniture for most of my career. And so whenever the market declines, whenever there's a recession, the first thing people stop buying is furniture. And the last thing to recover is furniture. So when you think about having had 3 recessions in my career so far, like for most of the time, I was trying to figure out how to design and sell furniture during a period of time at which nobody was really buying furniture. So, that was a really true lesson for me in how to make it work and how to find markets where you didn't know you could find them, how to market and continue to get clients. And I have steadily had clients until last year, and I still kept getting them. I just kept turning them away last year. So how did I do that all along the way is always about service first marketing, because they need something. They're always still looking for something. It's just, what now are you selling them? And what is that service that you're providing them that's giving them a sense of what you do?
Yeah. That's true. And I must say, I don't know why you had a downturn in furniture, because almost every house I took away in the housing boom had really bomb furniture. They just couldn't make their house payments.
That's probably, they couldn't make their house payments probably.
Yeah.
So no, but I didn't always do home furnishings. I did office furniture, which was worse.
Okay. So the down market, you need to have better marketing. You may have to eat a lot of peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. I did that in a down market.
Seriously. Yeah. I mean, you have to do what you got to do to make it work for you. Right. And so, but what you don't want to do is build the same sales message that everybody's out there building. And that's what these things are. That's what these funnels are filled with. That's what these summits. I've turned down 3 summits, and it's only not even the end of January yet.
Scott, do you hear that? You were lucky.
You were lucky. No, but yeah, Scott Carson's summit was totally relevant there. He served us as much as we were serving his audience, right? So there was a model that was built in it. But the ones that come to me with the same summit model that like everyone's doing, I know they don't have their act together. I know they don't have what it takes. And at the end of the day, I'm not willing to sell my list for that. For Scott, I'd absolutely go to my list and say, I know you're going to get more than the dollar you pay here. You're going to get so much value that I have no qualms with going to my list and saying, go to this thing. But someone just meets you and they say, I would like you to be on my summit, and I'd like you to guarantee that you're going to send out 5 messages and all these social posts, and you're going to email your list, and you need to have a minimum of a list of 5,000 people, whatever that is. And I'm like, good luck to you, because I know that even if you got every single one of those people, even one of those speakers, you still will get nothing for it at the end of the day.
Not only that, let's go back to that list. I purged 5,000 people from my list this year. Actually, I wanted Scott to help me with something, and I had an itty bitty list that I couldn't really do what I wanted to do. But here's the deal. I have an itty bitty list of really engaged people now. Yep. So that's where when you start giving this service-oriented marketing strategy together, it is better on any given day to have a small list or a small Facebook group or a small whatever it is, with the exception of some things, which I won't mention. I want to get kicked off YouTube also.
Yeah, Juliet, stop.
But it's better to have that really connected, engaged group of people who will buy anything from you than having someone approach you for a summit for a list of 5,000 people who most of them are exhausted from those types of things.
Yep.
Will not play and open anyway. So I get really, when people ask me how big my list is, I'm just like, not big enough for what you want to do. Thank you.
Well, and that was usually my answer usually is I don't promote to my list unless I'm absolutely sure you have something of value. So prove that to me first, and then we can have a conversation. And, or I know my list is looking for that. So like, I'm going to have Kim Sutton, who was on Scott's podcast summit. She's amazing. I met her at She Podcast event and just was fascinated because I have a really great Pinterest channel. I've had a really great one for a really long time. Yeah. I have tens of thousands of visitors to my Pinterest, and I don't even keep it up as much as I should. Like I used to do a lot more because I was constantly saving designs and colors for people, for my clients. And now that I don't have as many, I'm not doing that as often, but I still have lots of people who repin my stuff and do that. And so I've been trying to figure out a way to make it work for podcasting. And I was like, I keep searching out there, couldn't find anyone with a strategy. And she's got a whole system for it. So it's like, she's coming on because I want to learn exactly what to do. And so when there's something out there that you're seeking and you want information on, I think that's valuable to bring to your audience too. So even if you're in the experimental stage, as long as you disclose that and say, hey, I don't know if this is going to work, but I was out there searching for this. And if I'm out there searching for this, you probably are too.
So
let's have it.
I have to be really transparent about Pinterest. I would spend hours on there pinning recipes that I would never cook and fitness exercises that I do work out. But my thought is I could spend 4 hours on there, and the only result I'm going to get is I would be a 400-pound Olympic athlete. So.
People would like that though. There are people who like that because you know what? That's what I find Pinterest is actually. So you're going to get the vicarious podcasters, the ones who want to be podcasters, but who aren't yet, but who are vicariously living through you doing it. Right. And so that's kind of how it works.
So is Pinterest a really good place for podcasters? Because I could see women who are real. I mean, it's 99% women over there.
Yeah.
And if you're not a woman over there, I don't know if I can say that on air.
No, it's the same as any consumer market, right? It's absolutely the same. And it's not very equally split. It's more like 80% plus, right? So that's very common in every marketplace. And so, yes, I mean, if your content is for women, if it's in great service, if it's something of interest, if you've got great visual graphics, right, with, that go along with everything, you should be sharing it. Why not? If people are there and they find something that visually impacts them, they're going to go, oh, I want to go listen to that. they'll save it for later. Like it's an easy way for them to save things, right? That's what pinning is for. I'm pinning it to my board. Well, I mean, I have this happen to me all the time on Facebook. Like you save videos and if you don't watch it right in Facebook, do you know how hard it is to like get back to your videos that you saved? Like it's like a convoluted system within Facebook to like try to go into your profile, find where your saved videos are, then remember what it was called, what the date was that you saved it. Like you have to remember if you've got a lot in there. It's ridiculous. A pin board is so much faster, and she's right about that.
So I always messenger myself the videos and the recipes because I am the queen of
you can do that. Yeah. But I mean, I'm getting to be known for like texting myself and then never doing what I text myself to do because I have so many of them. And because Tom's laughing at me in the office here because I'm at an event and I'll go like, okay, do this for so-and-so. And they're still not on my to-do list. So like it didn't make it all the way to my list. Right.
So I use notes, and I literally will be on a plane and I'll open up notes to make notes and I'll go, oh, they're my notes from last week when I was on a plane that I never did anything about.
Right, exactly. So yeah, so that's where we get to our own stage of things. But if you are a Pinterest user, why not? You'd save stuff there, right? It's no different than making a playlist. It's just in my preferred, and I'm a visual person, right? And many people are out there. So I mean, our whole goal in everything we've ever done is we want to serve from the place that we're most comfortable in. So remember, I was saying before, I don't love the video. I'm very comfortable in writing. I'm very comfortable in the written word, and I'm very comfortable in audio. And so those are my two places. And yet I can still syndicate it out in an audiogram via video to somebody who wants to watch videos. And, maybe they're only seeing images and on an audio wave, but at least they're seeing something. Mm-hmm. Or I'm sending them into Pinterest where they're getting that visual impact that they're looking for and finding places for them to save it. Now we're touching multimedia. We're truly being multimedia in our service as well. Because what a shame if we just don't happen to be matched in how we serve, but our information is valuable.
Right. Very good.
Right.
So
back to serving versus selling. Right?
I know. You have to follow this conversation. It never goes in the right direction.
I mean, I think that's the whole point of us dishing about marketing, right? Like it's never gonna. So I'm frustrated. I think people are very frustrated with the selling. And I think that if you're going to follow a sales and selling tactics, then you have already gone wrong because everyone knows what it is. Like we're all attuned to it. If you think you're going to hack the system on Facebook or you're going to hack some system on Google or YouTube or one of those things, it's going to be short-lived before their algorithm catches up with you. Right. So like that's a gimmick. That's not sustainable business. And I don't have the time, the energy, the effort to do something that's that short-lived. I want to do something that I can learn how to do day in, day out, that is going to keep working for me. That's so and so we look at those things, and I think it's much more natural for us to serve others. It's much more natural for us to teach others, much more natural for us to be in that place than it is to push someone into something, right? Mm-hmm. So service is a more natural place from human beings.
Yeah.
So that's a lot easier to learn. Now we can learn how to do it with a little bit of twist, because a lot of times I hear people out there serving fantastically and never making an offer, never making an invitation. There are ways to add that in but we can take the ugly out of the selling and we can turn it into an opportunity. Once we've earned the right. That's what I keep saying again to people. You must earn the right to ask for the sale.
So I'm going to give you guys another reason to serve, especially over on Facebook right now. As of January 15th, they changed the algorithm and they're now using AI, and they don't want you making offers inside of your Facebook Lives now. So you have to come up with creative ways to serve and ask people to do things without a real call to action. You can't sell anymore. Right. So one of the best things I saw this weekend, and I wish I could take credit for it, but I'm going to have to give it to Molly Mahoney, is asking them to drop a word in and you will connect on Messenger. and below. That was one of the smartest things I saw given that new rule this weekend. And it allows her to get to know you, build a relationship, and serve
Right.
all at once. It was such a cool tip.
Right.
I wondered why we didn't think of it. We're slackers.
Well, you know what? But I never sell. I never make an offer. I don't really work like that ever from what I do. Because I don't think it's hard to find me. Like, I'm not a hidden expert. That's the difference. So if you are, you have to put yourself out there more. But it's easy for people to find me. It's easy for people to come and invite themselves in. There's a calendar link. There's all those things are always there. So the only thing that I typically do is make an offer to connect with me either via Facebook, LinkedIn, whatever the social media platform is, connect with me and chat with me there, or go up and sign up and have a call with me or my team, right? So those are the only kind of offers that ever get made. So that's not truly making a sales pitch. It's not saying, hey, the price is this, and and we're going to give you that. Like, I rarely do that. It's happened, I can say probably in the last 5 years, I've done it 4 times.
Mm-hmm.
It just, because that was the environment that it was in, that it required that was sales webinars, right? But otherwise I'd never do that. Yeah. Even still, I'd rather make sure you're a right fit for my program before I'd sell you anything.
Yeah, that's kind of, if you're on an enrollment call with me, it's kind of drag the price out, because as much as you think you're checking me out, I'm checking you out to see if you're the right person. Because I've had some experiences with the wrong people. And you always have to remember when you're doing that those people, if they're not successful inside of what you do, they will never say, oh, I didn't show up, or I didn't do what she told me to do. It's always your fault.
Yes.
So if you want those referrals and all that, you have to be really astute at checking people out as well.
Yeah.
So, couple things here to wrap this up. I'm really jealous because Tracy's going to be at the Super Bowl this week.
No. I'm not at the Super Bowl. Let's be
Where
real
are you
clear.
at?
Okay. I leave town the Saturday morning before the Super Bowl.
Okay.
So I am going to Miami, but I am not. I'm doing a pre-Super Bowl event. So we are doing an Athlete Times Media event, and it's a podcasters. We got a podcaster row going, but you have to have a podcast that's about athletes, football, or marketing for athletes, right? Or that kind of, it doesn't matter if they're football players. They could be basketball or baseball or anything, but as long as it's a marketing business like that. And it's a whole marketing event. So they have really, really great panels going on throughout the day and keynotes. And then there's a couple of parties. So, a couple of cushy parties on the water in Florida. But I'm leaving town before the Super Bowl because I don't want to be there for that.
Are you feeling really bad for her? And by the way, I know a lot of 12-ounce curl athletes. I should have been invited to do this.
There you go.
Budweiser, like one of the sponsors.
Yeah. So this was thrown together. I'm going to say pretty last minute. Like, it started right before the holidays, and we've put it together in a little over a month. We're doing another event in LA in conjunction with the City Summit and City Gala. And so we're putting another event together. And my goal with it is to put together an informational list of like what you need to do if you want to do this for yourself. And also put together, like, if you just want to, get all the equipment, get everything you need, get the success of it, we're going to have that pre-done for you too. So if you want to run one at your event, we can just come in and plug and do it for you. Because the thing that we found that is the most difficult and the easiest for us to do, because we know podcasts so well, is the matchmaking between the guests and the podcast. So first off, it's a logistical nightmare of the speaker's available here, not available here. This celebrity's available then, not, and then you have all the podcasters who has their top list of, I'd like these guests. And you try to, it's a logistical nightmare of trying to get that together. And everybody waits till the last minute and changes their schedule at the last minute. Yeah.
Because they're all super important.
I know, because they're all, because they all have giant egos. No, the podcasters included. No. But so that's the kind of thing. So like, we just had on Friday, we were full up, and today we had 2 podcasters pull out. And so we had someone who was on the waiting list and we put them right into the spots. But, we thought we were totally full until the whole shakeup of scheduling happens.
So that brings us to next week's show, which is going to be all about events.
That's right.
So there was a segue there. It wasn't just that I was jealous.
That's right. So I will have just gotten back from it and I will have some lessons learned for us.
So I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm actually going to give you guys a call to action this time. Since
now that is not an offer. That is not sales. A call to action is different, right?
Since Scott Carson is probably our one and only viewer this evening.
Because he knew we were on YouTube instead. Yep.
Yes. I'm going to actually encourage you. Tracy and I were part of an amazing summit this weekend. It was a mass media summit. And I asked the question to Scott today about, I have somebody who'd like recordings. They didn't know about the event in time. So I'm going to invite you guys to go over to massmediasummit.live. And Scott tells me that you can grab the recordings over there. You can see how much, they're not that much, but I don't want to actually do like an offer here.
Yeah.
But go on over, check it out. I truly have to say it's one of the best events.
I'm going to say that I wasn't able to attend all of them. I did like 5 or so of them I popped into, and I'm going to tell you that like any 2 of those would have more than would give you, way more value for your money than you imagine. So there are some really great ones.
I actually had to go. I went through one of them again today because she fire hosed us like you wouldn't believe. So I went.
And it wasn't me, right? Because I'm not known to do that, right?
No, not at all. Not at all. And then I have another one that I want to look at tomorrow that again was another, like, I was so blown away that I know I didn't take really good notes. So I'm going to do that just because, you know what? Scott supports everything we do and we love him for it. So go over and support him and get some really good education too. So next week, we're on YouTube again. I'm in Facebook jail until the 13th. So.
Well, wait, what I want to make sure. So it was mass media. I want to drop it in the chat here.
Massmediasummit.live.
Summit.live. I'm putting it in the chat for the YouTube and I will go into Facebook next and add it there just so that we make sure that everybody got it.
Very cool. And if that doesn't happen to be the right one, which I'm pretty sure it is, reach out to Tracy and I or Scott Carson on Facebook and we'll get it over the right information.
Sounds really good. So, okay. Well, we'll be back next week. Hopefully I'll be like, they can see you walking behind. They're raiding my office supplies back behind me. I don't know.
Are they behind you because you don't want to give them up?
Yeah, I don't know. I think I had if you notice, I have a corner. So we have like extra space. So, you got it. When you have a small office, you got to stash stuff everywhere. Furniture.
Very
Storage
nice.
furniture, best sellers ever, right? You can sell those in any market. Well, I look forward to seeing everybody next week, and hopefully we'll be back on Facebook, right? I mean,
not
next week.
Not next week. I'm in Facebook jail till the 13th, but we might be able to get your account.
Let's see if we can figure out how to get it through my account. And we'll go in that way. So we'll try to get you guys back on Facebook. Anyway.
Okay. Thanks, guys. Have a great week. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Tom's waving.